Deshaun Watson is getting evaluated this week. See, everybody's not talking about this. If the Browns were serious about Deshaun Watson not playing this season, why do we have to evaluate him?
Another twist, and this one's both shocking and disappointing for everyone who was convinced Shedeur Sanders would finally start against the Jets. According to reports, Deshaun Watson will be starting instead, and his evaluation process has already begun. So now the question is this yet another move by Kevin Stefanski and the Browns management to sabotage Shedeur once and for all? Or is there something deeper behind the scenes that we don't know yet? After all, Watson is the highest paid player by the Browns.
Y'all forgot about Four.
Y'all
forgot about Four. Four
He's
ain't
out there looking comfortable. He's
Four
comfortable. He ain't trying to play either.
Deshaun Watson ain't terrible.
Is he not ready?
I
Is
would
he ready?
take. I know Deshaun Watson going to throw for more than
Is he ready to
115 yards.
He ain't playing, though.
I believe that Deshaun Watson,
Here.
in all his faults, will put up more
It's a shame.
passing yards and throw down the field more than 4 yards on average. I guarantee you that.
No doubt Josh Cribbs made a fair point. Deshaun Watson isn't a terrible quarterback. In fact, at his best, he's proven to be very well talented. His ability to read defenses and extend plays was once what made him elite. But the truth is, injuries have taken a heavy toll on him. He hasn't been the same since 2024, and that affects not just his performance, but his confidence too. It's not easy to step back on the field after repeated physical setbacks, especially in a position as demanding as quarterback. So yes, maybe in a fully healthy state, Deshaun could outperform Shedeur. But right now, that version of Watson simply doesn't exist, and the Browns have to face that reality sooner rather than later. On the other hand, Shedeur Sanders represents everything fresh and forward-looking about this team. He's hungry to play and is fit too. Only if we collectively start to believe that his injury story was absolutely rubbish. Even he himself has hinted that he's getting big ready, and of course he was hinting to play against the upcoming game against the Jets. Talking about his previous work, he has been outstanding as well. At least he can do 100% better than the rookie quarterback that we have right now. In college, he consistently threw for big numbers, crossing 300 yards per game and showing he could carry an offense even under tough conditions. In training and preseason moments, he's already shown that spark. While he doesn't have Watson's experience, he's got time, energy, and most importantly, health. 3 things that matter the most for a quarterback stepping into a long season. That's where the conversation gets interesting. It's not about replacing Watson for good, it's about being smart with timing. If Deshaun's body still needs recovery, forcing him into play could harm both him and the team. Meanwhile, Shedeur is absolutely ready and fit to give the Browns a much-needed lift at quarterback, especially after days of humiliation.
See, Mary Kay can get on these damn podcasts and say what she want to say. All these other damn beat reporters can say what they want to say. I'ma tell y'all the truth. I'ma keep it 100. And the 100 fact of the matter is, Deshaun Watson is getting evaluated this week by the Cleveland Browns training staff and coaching staff. Now, granted, he have tore his Achilles twice. Now, do that mean he's going to come back? I can't say he's going to come back. But one thing I can say, we cannot rule him out to come back. Because the fact of the matter is, it was his job before Joe Flacco got there. It was his job before Dylan got there. And he's the highest paid player on the team. And in my eyes, and in big business, you don't waste money like that.
This raises serious questions. How can a player who was already ruled out and whose status was made clear by the management that too earlier in January suddenly be evaluated again? And that too during a bye week. What's the rush? Especially when Kevin Stefanski just said he's sticking with Gabriel and will keep giving him 100 more chances to drag the whole franchise down with him. From everything we know, Deshaun Watson's injury is not a minor setback. It's a prolonged and serious one. So this sudden evaluation feels less like a medical update and more like another confusing move by the Browns management. Let's have a look at what's really going on with his injury. Deshaun Watson's injury timeline makes it clear how serious his condition really is. Back in Week 7 of the 2024 NFL season, he suffered a non-contact Achilles tear, which required surgery on October 25th. Then again in January, during his exit physical, it was discovered that the same tendon had re-ruptured that forced him to go through a second surgery. While there have been small signs of recovery lately, like coming out of the walking boot and starting light throwing, even the coaches have admitted that his full return isn't expected anytime soon. So, if we're being honest, it's too early to call this anything close to a full comeback. And let's not forget an Achilles injury, especially one that's been operated on twice, doesn't just heal overnight. It affects mobility, balance, and overall throwing power, which are critical for any quarterback. No matter how strong his rehab looks from the outside, the truth is, Watson still has a long road ahead before he's ready to handle real game pressure again. That's why the timing of his evaluation now just doesn't make sense. If Watson is still in recovery and nowhere near 100%, then what exactly is there to evaluate? Who suddenly decided that testing him during a bye week was a good idea? Has someone behind the scenes pressured Stefanski to move forward with Watson just because they can't justify keeping Gabriel around any longer? Because if that's what's happening, then it's a very desperate decision-making. And if Stefanski's frustration with Shedeur Sanders runs that deep to the point that he'd rather put a still-injured Watson on the field than let Shedeur take a real shot, then this isn't about football anymore. It's about ego and control. And here's where it gets even more twisted. How does this fit into the ridiculous narrative that Mary Kay recently brought up that Shedeur hasn't gotten enough reps or that he hasn't had his practice window? How can they justify saying that while preparing to play someone who's barely able to move at full speed? It's like they're making excuses to protect one player while blocking another, and it's starting to look obvious. The pressure inside that organization must be unreal right now because Stefanski and his media mouthpieces are acting completely irrational. They're running out of ways to cover their tracks, and each new excuse just proves one thing. They're scared of what Shedeur could do the moment he finally gets his chance.
If we see Kevin Stefanski Monday say, well, Deshaun Watson evaluation is going well, we'll know what's going on with him by the end of the week. If he come out with one of those, be ready. Be ready, y'all. Because Kevin Stefanski, y'all know how he get. Yeah. Huh? Deshaun Watson? His evaluation is going well. Going well. I think we'll know more by the end of the week. If he say we will know more by the end, he coming. It ain't no, I'm telling y'all what it is. Don't let these people play you.
At this point, the real victim in all of this mess is clearly Shedeur Sanders. The kid has worked hard, stayed patient, and done everything the right way, yet somehow he keeps getting pushed aside for no logical reason. He even hinted recently that he's getting ready to start soon and refused to join any other tournaments because he truly believes his time is coming. But here we are again, watching the same clown show play out. Fans are frustrated, and Stefanski seems completely lost in his own decisions. It's not even about talent anymore, it's about ego and terrible judgment only. The fact that someone could look at the situation and still think putting Watson out there is a good idea is unbelievable. If Stefanski actually manages to start Deshaun, he'll end up putting two players' careers at risk. Deshaun's body clearly isn't ready, and forcing him onto the field could easily worsen his condition and possibly end his season, or even his career. And then there's Shedeur, who's being held back for reasons that have nothing to do with performance. It's obvious Stefanski can't stand the idea of Shedeur shining, and he's willing to go to any length to stop that from happening. The bias is too clear now. It's personal. And the sad part? Every fan can see it. This whole situation perfectly shows what Stefanski has become. This video doesn't just expose him. He's literally like this.
Next question.
Hey, Coach. How do you feel about Shedeur?
Oh, he's a good kid. Love everything about him.
Is he going to practice with the first team?
Next question.
Hey, Coach. Will the rookies start getting more involved?
Definitely. Gabriel will start getting worked up in preparation of playing.
What about Shedeur?
Next question.
Hey, Coach, is Shedeur officially your backup QB now?
This trade we made took everybody by surprise. We're still evaluating. Need to figure everything out right now.
Coach, is there a reason you won't name him the backup? You only have two quarterbacks.
Next question. You.
All right, after this last game, are you considering starting Shedeur now?
No, it's not fair. We win as a team, we lose as a team. Gabriel deserves time to figure it out.
Well, are you at least letting Shedeur take practice reps with the first team?
That's not my focus.
Coach, do you hate Shedeur?
Next question.
Now here's where things start to make a little more sense, at least from the fans' perspective. Many fans are saying that this sudden evaluation of Deshaun Watson might have nothing to do with football at all and everything to do with money. According to them, the Browns need to officially rule Watson inactive for the season so that the insurance company can cover his guaranteed payment. Basically, it's a business move, not a strategic or medical one. If that's true, then this whole evaluation isn't about whether Watson can play, it's about completing the paperwork that allows the team to get their money back. In that case, the Browns aren't looking at Watson as a starter right now, they're looking at him as a massive financial liability they need to manage smartly. And when you look at the numbers, that theory actually holds weight. Watson still has 1 year left on his 5-year, fully guaranteed $230 million contract. The Browns still owe him a whopping $46 million for the 2026 season. That's not just a lot of money, it's one of the biggest contracts in the league. So if he's still injured and unable to play, the insurance policy steps in to reimburse the team for a large part of his salary. This means the Browns would have no reason to rush his return. In fact, doing so might even hurt them financially. If he steps back on the field and re-injures himself, that insurance coverage could be affected. So instead of risking that, they might be playing it safe, evaluating him just enough to complete formalities, but not enough to actually bring him back. So maybe this isn't about Stefanski making a stupid decision after all. Maybe it's about money and contracts. If the evaluation is just a business step to get that insurance payout, it explains a lot of the confusion. Still, the way it's being handled is terrible. The lack of clarity and communication makes it look like another messy decision by the Browns. It also drags Shedeur right back into the middle of it, leaving him stuck between a recovering quarterback and a coach who refuses to give straight answers. Whether it's about money or favoritism, the end result is the same. Shedeur keeps getting sidelined while everyone else keeps playing games that have nothing to do with actual football.
Do I believe he's going to play? I hope so. I hope so. But I know one thing for sure. Kevin Stefanski don't like Shedeur. The only way we see Shedeur play is if Jimmy Haslam himself physically picks Shedeur up and place him behind the center.
Anyways, this drama isn't ending anytime soon, and next week is shaping up to be full of explosions. More reports, more twists, and probably more confusion from the Browns camp. So, stay tuned because things are about to get even messier. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any updates when the next wave of news drops. Now tell me, do you think Deshaun Watson is being evaluated to actually start? Or is this whole thing just about the money? Drop your thoughts in the comments.